Thank you for tuning in to Level Up with Sharie and Gina. Yes.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited for you to be here.
Thank you so much. I want to just say this because it still just gives me butterflies because you are such a powerful woman, and I want to make sure that I say this and everybody else can hear this. You're such a powerful woman, and I didn't know this Dream Girl, one of the founders of Dream Girls behind the brand, when I was bringing my baby girl in here, and I didn't know who you were. I was just sitting down, and I can remember when I saw you, and just from that day of me just asking, can I pray with you? Not knowing that you were a woman of faith, not knowing who you were, not knowing if you would say, this girl is crazy, something along those lines. I was just like, I like her spirit. So since then, I've always loved your spirit, and I love when we've been able to connect in the times that we've been able to connect. So thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, thank you for being here. You know, when I said I wanted to start Level Up, back up again, you just came to mind. You know I don't want to be the only one up here talking all the time, you know? And so I was like, well, who can also be one of my co-hosts? And I was like, oh, Gia, oh, Paige. And I'm like, they're perfect, you know? And so I'm just, I'm happy that you're here. I think you have so much to offer, so much wisdom.
Thank you.
So much, you got just so much laughter.
I love laughter.
Yeah.
Life is something.
Yeah, and you know what? I remember that day too, that you prayed over me, with me. And I think that was back in what, 2000?
I want to say
2023. And that's when my life took a detour.
Yeah.
And you felt it on me, you saw it, you didn't even know me. And I think that's when we first got our connection. So I just want to say thank you for seeing inside of me, not just seeing me, but seeing inside.
Absolutely. It's like, my friends always call me a hood evangelist. So I'm like, all right, I grew up Baptist, so, sometimes the book of cuss is there, but for the most part, God has blessed me with the spirit of being an encourager and with also being able to see inside of people. So I feel really blessed when I am able to hear from God and be able to follow what God is telling me to talk to the people that he has me talk to. So
that's awesome.
I'm glad I listened that day.
Discernment.
Yes,
Discernment.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I want to ask you some questions just because I know that lots of people, girl, you do all type of interviews. People, for the most part, they know who you are. One of the most fascinating things to me is how the devil may have tried to stop you with a speech impediment. But God has opened you up and opened up so many doors for you to just speak because you're speaking everywhere. How does that feel that your voice, while the devil tried to bring you down, you're still able to open so many doors and speak life into so many women? How does that make you feel?
That just gave me chills because I haven't really sat down to think about it that way. I just do it, right?
Yeah.
And I always share my testimony, but it just shows that God is faithful because the devil has been trying to attack my voice since I was a little kid. And till this day, he's still trying to attack my voice. And that's the very thing that God is trying to use in me is my voice. So.
Yeah. And there's lots of women, and men too, but it's like, I know that you're an inspiration to lots of women out there who think that they don't have a voice. And here you are able to move past that and show everyone you can still speak even past whatever impediments or whatever things are trying to block you, even in throughout seasons. Like you said growing up that there was something that was just getting your voice to try to shut you up, but you're still talking and still speaking life.
Oh yeah, it was people, it was family members, it was, and honestly, I did not know how to speak. I used to stutter very, very bad. My sister's name is Tanya, and I used to say, Kanya. And so, she would tease me, just being kids, like, my name is not Kanya, it's Tanya, Kanya, Or, my parents would be like, girl, be quiet. We can't even understand what you're saying, And it's the little things that people don't understand that really affects you, So I can't count how many times somebody told me to be quiet. Be quiet. We can't understand you. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet.
Yeah.
And you think about it, that's what the enemy has been trying to get me to do is to be quiet.
Yes.
And it was nothing but God just pouring inside of me, having other people pour inside of me, that including my mom and my sister, right? And my dad. But they was telling me, dang, you got something to say. You powerful. I remember my dad would say, girl, you need to be an attorney. You always want to argue somebody down, you know?
That's
so
good.
it's wild that this little girl from LA who had a speech impediment, learning disability, now stand on stage and talk a lot. And so I always say, especially in my salon, that this is my pulpit. And so I'm able to minister to other people. I'm able to uplift other people. I'm able to see something in somebody else like you saw in me that day and speak it to them and something shift inside. And so, you know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
That's a blessing that you just kept going in that way, just making sure that, you know what, no matter what is trying to bring me down, still being that, because the women who you service in your salon every single day, they need that. And you spoke about this being your pulpit. There's some type of magic that's going on in here because it's no secret. If you go on like your Instagram page, you see all of the videos, you see the befores, the afters. What are you doing? What is the special? I'm trying to think of a good word. What is the special formula?
What's the secret sauce?
What's the secret sauce that you're doing to these women's hair? Because the growth that they're having seems like, how are you able to do that? And it looks like strong, healthy hair. So what are you doing that's with inside of you? It could be your faith. It could be within the product, how you actually do hair in the salon. What are those things that you're combining to be the miracle worker that you are for these women?
You know, I think it started with me not loving my own hair, right? And me thinking that my hair was the worst hair. And so once my sister and I start understanding how to care for the hair and not just how to do hair, I started finding out that I didn't need a relaxer, that my hair was beautiful, that my hair was thick, you know, it was sandy. Yeah, it can get dry, but it was beautiful, right? And then learning the different ingredients, what I needed for my hair to flourish. And when I learned that about my hair, I wanted to help every other woman, right? Every other woman that dealt with the same thing that I was dealing with. And to be honest, a lot of us walk in here and we hate our hair for whatever reason. And I just feel like, honestly, it's a gift. I think that it's something that God has commissioned me to do. I think He's commissioned me to do a lot of stuff, right? And I think hair is one of them. I think speaking life over people is one of them. Even in my salon, you know, the first thing I ask my client is that, how do you see your hair? And they pause for a minute. I said, no, I need you to tell me, how do you see it? How do you envision it? And then I said, okay, we're going to believe for that. We're going to believe for that. And now we're going to take the steps to get there. And that's what we do. And a lot of times our hair just needs to be put at rest. Put at rest, great products, and TLC, tender loving care.
You said something earlier that I've never thought of. You said you wanted to care for hair versus just do hair. And I feel like a lot of times, like you have a lot of people that just do hair, but you actually putting care into their hair and having them speak life into their hair. I've never heard it even phrased like that. That made me even think about my own hair. And if you don't mind, real quick, I remember, just like you just said, when you were thinking about your own hair and how weak it was or the color of it, I grew up, I had a PCJ perm in my hair. So I had like a bald spot. Well, I still have kind of a bald spot on the side of my hair. So I didn't think that my hair could grow. So since 5th grade, I didn't think that my hair could grow. It wasn't until the pandemic when you had to leave your hair alone. You had to, I had all of these like braid styles or wigs that I had on my head. And I finally just said, let me just do my own hair. It was thick, it was beautiful, but I had never seen it before because I had never even said to myself or even thought of, how do I really see my hair? Because I was speaking, my hair is brittle. It's ever since that perm. You know how every girl that you know probably got that perm story when they was a kid. My mom put a perm in it, it's not good. But then I saw it for my own self and was finally able to wear my hair. I wore it for about probably a good 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
I just didn't like how puffy it gets. Now, that's the only thing. It get hot here. Okay, I didn't like how hot it get, but I did get a chance to see and actually care for my hair. So I think that that's really cool that you even point that out, that you care for hair and not just do hair.
Yeah, and then also you used to say, I don't like my hair. My hair don't grow. It don't. If you keep saying your hair don't grow, your hair is not going to grow.
Yeah.
That's the reason why what I do to all my clients is I put my hands on their shoulder and then on top of their head.
Yeah.
And I say, your hair will flourish.
Yeah.
Your hair will grow. Your hair will be healthy.
Yeah.
Because we have to learn to speak life.
Yes.
We got to speak life over everything, not just over our financials, not just over our, our health and our kids, but even to your hair. You speak life over everything.
Yes.
I speak life over every single thing. And so if I wanted to grow, I'm like, oh, my hair is growing. It's flourishing.
All right.
And
now.
so I say the same thing to my clients. And the key thing that you said was you stopped manipulating it.
Yeah.
You stopped getting all the styles. And I say this all the time, and me and my sister, we talk about this. If people was to know, like, listen, if you keep doing this style for 5 years, then you will literally be bald around the edges. Now, if you keep wearing ponytails tight in the middle of your head, you're going to have a bald spot in the middle of your head. Like, if people knew that, would they still make the decision to keep wearing those hairstyles?
Today.
And what I'm also noticing is that a lot of people don't, like, the hairstylists don't show them their hair. Like, the chair is away from the mirror.
Yeah.
So when you're taking your weave out, when it's braid, like, you're not even looking at your hair.
So you can see the damage.
Listen, we're turning you to this mirror and we're showing you your hair.
Look at this.
Look at this. This is what's going on. Then I take pictures.
Yeah.
And then I show them the pictures.
Ooh.
And then I say, tell me how much you would take off.
Yeah.
Tell me where the healthy hair, starts and where the damaged hair begins. You tell me. And we walk each other through this process.
I like that.
And they can see it and they can understand it. And then when they come back in 3 months, we take more pictures.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, remember your hair was here?
Yeah.
Now it's here.
Yeah.
And then 3 more months, they come back.
Yeah.
And I take more pictures. I said, remember it was here? And then it was here? Now it's here. And they start seeing it for themselves. They start believing it.
Yeah.
And they trust the process.
I like when you said, I'm going to ask you where you want it. Because you know how some people will be like, she just cut all the hair off.
She cut all my hair. She was hating on me. She saw all my pretty hair and she cut it off.
Let me show you the pictures before. So you say, look, you look at it. What you want? You want thin, thick? What? I like that. That's
and if I
pretty
see a
good.
bald spot somewhere, I'm showing you this. Do you see this? Did you know this was here? No, I never. Well, let me take a picture. Let me show you.
Yeah.
A lot of people just I feel like hairstylists need to show the client their hair.
Absolutely.
They need to see it. Before you braid it back up, before you put the weaves back in, before you do whatever style, show them their hair.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I do is I ask the client, what is going on in your life?
Yeah.
Because stress can be taken. I mean, when I went through right now I'm going through a divorce and I'm telling you, 2023, by the time 24 hit, my hair was gone. It was so thin. It was so fragile. I mean, stress will take it out. So I'm always talking to my clients, what's going on in your life?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
We need to go get a full panel. I need to check your iron, your vitamin D, your protein, because stress will cause you to be deficient in so many different things.
Absolutely.
And so, I talk about what's going on in your life, what's going on internally, so we can find out a solution what's going on. Because if we don't know what's going on, we're just shampooing and it's topical.
Or you're in here, you go get your hair cared for and you go home with the same stress, and all it's going to do is just continue to just be deficient.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't even think about it like that. And so you mentioned going through a divorce. So transition, right? So as a successful businesswoman, I want to say multi-businesses that you have, being as successful as you are with going through a transition like a divorce, how do you still show up for yourself first? How do you still show up for you?
You know what? I think 2025, God was showing me how to show up for me. I think 2023 and 2024, I just wasn't showing up for nobody, or I wasn't even showing up for myself.
Yeah.
It was really a breaking point, like a breakdown.
Yeah.
But now God is just showing me, it's always been in me. It's always been in me.
Yeah.
And then I also had to look in the mirror and see, like, what is it going, like,
Yeah.
I had to do some mirror work.
Right.
Like, I can't focus on anybody outside of me.
Yeah.
I had to focus on me.
Absolutely.
And once I started doing the work, the inner work, I started realizing that it was some things going on deep that I still ain't dealt with from my childhood.
Yeah.
And I really started doing my child trauma work and my teenage trauma work.
Yeah.
And then even my early, I talked about this before. I've been in relationships for a very long time, since I was literally 14.
Yeah.
Had my first boyfriend, was with him until I was 16, and then had another boyfriend from 16 to 20. Okay, and then I got married at 20.
Girl,
listen,
I know the story.
I got married the first time, haven't dealt with any of my issues.
Yeah.
And then married for 10 years, and then left that marriage and jumped right into another marriage. Never dealt with the first marriage issues, my childhood issues, my teen. So this was the time that God really set me down and said, "No, baby.
Yeah.
It's gonna be me and you." And it was a time where I didn't want it. Oh my gosh, I was fighting it.
Yeah.
Like 2023, 2024, I was fighting it.
Yeah.
I would do anything just to save it.
Yeah.
And God kept saying no.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. And finally, I saw when he was like, "No. I need you to stop idolizing relationships, and I need you to deal with some root issues, and I need you to put me first."
Yeah.
He had to tell me, like, I called you when you was a little kid.
Yeah.
You've been chosen for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so now I need to start removing some things from you.
Yeah.
Because when you're hurt, you pick hurt people.
Yeah. Hurt people, hurt people.
Hurt people, hurt people.
Yeah.
And so this is the first time I focused everything on me.
Yeah.
Everything was on me. And I spent time with my kids. I even did some talking to them, asking them some questions.
Yeah.
And then realizing, like, listen, if mommy ever hurt you, or if mommy ever said, like, doing a lot of apologizing, because I realized some things that happened to me when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
Being teased, didn't know how to speak, never felt like nobody took up for me.
Yeah.
And so the mirror work was something that I feel like God wanted me to do, because at the end of the day, he was trying to remove all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I can get back to him.
Yeah. I want to dig deep into that. I also wanted to relate to you with a point. I too call myself a relationship girly. This is the longest time I've been single now for 10 years. But like you said, from 6th grade, my little 6th grade boyfriend that used to bring me teddy bears, to my little middle school boyfriend who I used to walk around, the parks and stuff with, to my high school sweetheart. Right after my high school sweetheart, I got married at 18. So when you said you got married at 20, I'm just like, okay, so we have all of these different things where we can relate on. And I was married for 12 years. And then after that was when I felt like I was still trying to do that work, but it took longer than I expected. So when you were doing the work on yourself, do you ever call yourself, because I say little Gina inside of me. So now I look at, is this going to hurt little Gina? Because I'm always wanting to make sure that I'm protecting little Gina, giving little Gina the hugs that she needs to get, protecting her from people or things or just anything that's not for me. So I'm trying to do that work now, and what I've been doing in these 10 years of being single, so that way I'm not making those same mistakes. And it's so funny to me how you said you came to this point too, that it took going through all of these different things for me to say, what do I need to analyze from back in the past, and what do I need to fix so that I can now be a better person moving forward? I'm just fascinated by that we go back to, all right, well, what about little me inside?
Yeah.
What didn't I do? And so what I do now to remind me of all of the things that I want to make sure that I cure for little Gina, I did an AI picture of me hugging myself as a kid. So I can remember, if it's a decision I'm about to make that don't look like it's going to still nourish her the way that it needs to, I can't move forward with it. And I have to be okay with that, because I can't continue to be the one that hurts myself and little Gina.
Yeah, little Gina.
Yeah.
I call my little self Makia.
Oh.
So, me being raised up, they used to call me Makia. So my name was Makia. I didn't even know my name was Sharie. Up until
That's just
up
black
until
folks.
I got
Yeah,
older.
that's just black people.
And so I say Makia, right?
Uh-huh.
And so now what I do, and it's funny you said you created an AI picture of your big self hugging your little self, but I have a picture of my graduation picture when I was 5 years old, graduating from kindergarten, and I have it on my nightstand. I have it on the side of the bed where my ex-husband used to sleep. And so she's right there on the nightstand. And what I say is when I see that little hurt Makia rise up, sometimes I go back and I'm like, it's okay. I got this. It's time for Sharie to take over.
Oh.
Like, all right, Makia, because Makia want to rise up.
Yes.
Makia's already there.
She's like, what we about to do?
And Makia's like, what he at? What he at?
Let me get him.
Makia's like, and that's who I've always been, that person.
Yeah.
And so I'm not trying to change her at all, but I need to put her to the side.
Yeah.
And so I always be like, all right, Makia, calm down. I got this. Because if you get in the way, I won't end up in jail. I don't want to end up in jail. So you sit down and let Sharie, the mature, the one that's been hit, let me handle this. So I talk to Makia a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's necessary. You have to remember, they say that we are already shaped by the time we're 7 years old. We're already shaped. Ooh. So think about the things that have happened to you from 0 to 7. And that's what we're carrying.
Yeah.
That's what we're carrying. And we never take the time to deal with that.
Yeah.
We never take the time to look within. We never take the time to, we never study ourselves.
Yeah.
And I say this all the time to my boys, like, I need you to study you. Study you.
Yeah.
When you get upset, when you get angry, when you start doing that, study, figure out what is going on within that's making you react. And study, know you better than the enemy knows you, because he knows you. He know how to trigger you. And I need you to study. I need you to know yourself so you can do the opposite.
Absolutely.
That's
really good. For myself, I know that I needed to go through an intense therapy in order for me to kill some of the things. And I'm going to say kill, get rid of some of those things that were inside of me, and beliefs or thoughts or things that I needed to get through that little Gina went through. So now that I can be the person that I need to be. How do you feel, especially, in the Black community, people talk about therapy is a little bit more accepted now, but there's still a lot of people that's like, I don't really need that. A lot of people going to AI now for their therapy, which is crazy to me.
Chat.
But how do you, they like, chat, what you, I do a lot on chat, strategy type stuff, but not therapy stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel about therapy, especially going through the things, especially in transition right now? What do you think about therapy, or have you even entered into therapy?
Oh, absolutely. I started therapy actually when my mother passed away. So that started in 2018. I started really intense therapy in 2023, 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
And when I say intense, I mean like an hour a week.
Yeah.
And the type of therapist that I have is a love therapist. So I went through the relationship therapist, the marriage therapist, but it comes down to loving you.
Yeah.
Because once you understand how to love you and see you, then you can love somebody else truly. And so the therapist that I have now, his name is Thomas. He is amazing.
Okay.
And he focuses on you.
Yeah.
He focuses on what's going on within you.
Yeah.
What's going on within you, and showing me that God is already in, God is in me. And we all know that, right?
Yeah.
But do we really believe it?
Yes.
Do we really believe it?
A lot of people don't.
No. And I feel like when I show up, Christ shows up.
Yeah.
And I really had to wholeheartedly believe that. And so do I want to bring Christ in this type of situation where I'm acting a fool all the time? Like, we got grace. Grace is going to cover me. But it's some things that I could prevent.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I could prevent is choosing correctly. And that's what I'm on.
Let me tell you.
Moving forward. Like, you're picking a mirror of yourself.
Yeah.
You're picking a mirror of yourself. And I noticed that even in my friendships, I was picking me.
Wow.
And the things I didn't like about me is the same things I didn't like about them.
Wow.
And so now I take them out the picture, and now I just focus on Sharie.
Yeah.
Focus on Sharie. And then I start attracting people that are different.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. So many things that you just mentioned right there that I wanted to go back to. The belief part, right? It's just one of my favorite gospel songs is I Trust in God, right?
I trust in God.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
My Savior, the one.
Go ahead.
Yes, you know, who will never, that's my song. I had to start
gotta
listening.
finish that part.
I know. Who will never fail. He will never fail.
I trust in. I don't got your voice though.
But you can still sing it though.
I trust in God.
There you go. See, oh, you got a higher part. See, I'm an alto. I tell them, look, I'm alto tenor. I'm down here, okay?
Listen,
Anything
I
above
love that
that's too much.
song.
I listened to that song so much because I can also admit some days my trust has left and I need that song to bring me back.
Bring you back.
I think some people can't admit, and that's one thing I love about me being so real. I can say the quiet part out loud. Some days, as much as I love God, because of everything, and this makes me emotional, because of everything that I've been through, sometimes I'm just like, God, but where is it? When is this gonna happen? Why did these things happen? You brought up losing your mom in 2018. Lost my mom in 2018 as well. And in that moment, and I don't know if you felt this way just because you still have a father and your parents were still together.
My father died 7 months later.
Yeah. So my dad died 6 months later. Right. And so I'm like, how could I lose the two people in this world who I know love me the most?
The most.
Right? There's no one else on this earth that's going to love me the way that they love me. And being in a period of singleness for myself was like, how do I get through this? Like, I have kids. Kids love you, but they don't love you like your parents love you, right? Because like the love I have for them, they will never have for me. And that song, right? I had to keep trusting in God that now I just got to lean on you, Lord. I just got to lean on you for all of the things. So when you brought back up belief, I have to believe it. And some days it's hard. Some days it's hard to bring that out. And as much as we want to say the right answer is, yes, I trust, I believe, I do this, but it's hard, right? Do you ever have those hard days?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would not be human. Whoever sit up here and say they don't, they're a lie.
Yeah.
They're a lie.
Yeah.
And I want to go back. I felt like God did, like, everything happened like that for me. Like my mama first. My mama?
Yeah.
You took my mama first? Not seeing nothing like, but you, my mama?
I was like, I know I didn't see other people mama leave, right?
Listen. My mama who used to sit on the salon on FaceTime with me while I'm doing hair. That's how close we was.
Oh my goodness.
I used to talk to my mama 3 or 4 or 5 times a day.
That was me.
If something's going on, I'm calling my mama. My mama like, what's happening, McKeon? Hold up, I'm on my way. Right. She'll get on that freeway, drive up here and be like, where they at? That's my mama.
That was my mama.
My mama
too.
was the mama that when things was happening, I always knew I had her. I never stressed. Mama was there.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And my daddy.
Yeah.
But mama was different.
Oh,
mama was different. And so I felt like, okay, you took my mama.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you took my daddy. And then the relationship that I thought was gonna be my forever.
Yeah.
You telling me that I was gonna have, I thought that you was telling me that I was gonna have marriage ministries and I'm having gatherings at my house trying to hold couples together.
Yeah.
Now mine is wasted.
Girl.
This is what you doing to me, God? Oh, let me tell you, when they talk about wrestling with God, I remember telling Nana, I said, Nana, I just cursed God out. And she said, hamburger, French fries. And I said,
Come on.
Nana, I'm serious. And I said, I never thought that I would ever say this to God.
Yeah.
But I was cursing. Like how the, you gonna
all the words,
explicit
all the way through.
And I was like, who? Like you said you was gonna be here. And then at the end, you know, I remember the story with Jacob wrestling with God.
Yeah.
And I remember after I finished arguing and wrestling with God, literally wrestling in my room. It was a dark time for me. And I remember God said, this is where I need you to be at. This is where I need you to be at. It's nobody else.
Yeah.
You can't call your mama. You can't call your daddy. It's just me and you. And that's where the healing actually began with me, because I didn't have anybody else to run to.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody else to pick up the phone and tell them my issue. I couldn't call my daddy.
Yeah.
I couldn't call. I had to sit in that room by myself with me and God. And that's where the breaking started. And after he broke me all the way down to where I was cursing God out, then he was able to start filling me back up again. Then he started telling me who I was and who I always been.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's normal.
Yeah. So there's truth in being in the uncomfortability of a situation. Because how much more uncomfortable could you get so that you can start building yourself back up?
And the thing about God is, baby, I can take this. You don't think I can take this? Give me everything, all the anger, all the disappointment. Tell me what you really feel. I can take it. And he took it. He took it all. I remember being in my room. I remember being in that dark place. I remember.
Girl, same.
You know, and God had to take us there so now we could be a witness to somebody else who's going through it, who don't understand that it's light coming. Because some people where we've been, they commit suicide. They don't come up out of it. They lose their mind.
They can't stay
They
in
lose it.
Yes.
And so I'm telling you, God is real. He kept me. He held me after I finished cursing him out. He said, and I still love you.
Like, you finished?
And I still love you. You know, and I needed that. I needed that. I needed that breaking. I needed that emptiness that I felt. So he can start pouring back into me.
Yeah. And you mentioned something, especially when you brought scripture into it. And that's when I learned that God really is close to the brokenhearted. Because how much more brokenhearted could you get, especially going through all of that loss? That's a lot of grief all at once, right? And going through those situations, like you said, being able to be a testimony and being able to speak life into others, right? And I'm going to take that even back to you. You see so many women every single day, and I'm sure, you know, of course, beauty salon talk, barbershop talk, you get a chance to speak and tell them, I'm going through it. I've been through this. So that way they know that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. I have to. I'm so transparent.
Same.
I'm so transparent, and I try to be as authentic. That's why I can't worry about what people say about me. Because I know who I am. Because
that's their problem.
That's their problem.
Okay, what you think about me is on you.
And it's listen, they're just reflecting themselves
Absolutely.
out. And I'm learning that too, right?
Yes.
And so that's why I don't worry about what people say. I don't worry about what people post. You know, I
living your truth.
I live in my truth. I know who I am.
Absolutely.
Those who have the ear for the truth will hear the truth.
Absolutely.
Those who don't, won't. That means they don't want to hear the truth anyway.
That's right.
They want to hear the negative stuff about Sharie. They want to hear what somebody else got to say bad about me. Let them hear that. I'm moving on to the next thing that God has commissioned me to do.
There you go.
I'm not worrying about it. And as far as my client, this is what I'm here for.
Absolutely.
This is what I'm here for. I have people flying all over the country to sit in my chair. And sometimes it's not even about hair.
Yeah.
It's about me giving them a message.
Yeah.
It's about me touching them, saying it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's about me telling them they are everything and everything is them.
Yes. Ooh, girl, that's a blessing. To be blessed by God, to be able to serve, as you say, your pulpit, this is a ministry.
It's a ministry
that you have, right? And to be able to serve in that way and speak life into so many people, and to know that so many people care about you in that particular way, that it don't even matter what everybody else say. Because once again, what everybody else think, that's their problem. That's not something that we are supposed to even worry about. It's what God think of me at the end of the day.
And that takes time to get to the point where you don't care.
Yeah.
And that's some of the things that God was trying to break out of me.
Yeah.
He was trying to tear that out. I mean, the person that I loved the most was telling me that I was evil. I was nasty. I had a bad heart. And I started believing it. It was to the point where I went to my doctor and I was like, listen, I need you to send me to a psychiatrist. And the doctor like, huh?
Like, what are you talking
and I'm
about?
like, no, because somebody's telling me that I'm this and I'm that and I'm this and I'm that. And if it's something wrong with me, I need you to fix it. I don't want to walk around here damaged and messed up and mentally. And so he was like, listen, I'll refer you to a doctor, but I don't think it's nothing wrong with you. I went to the doctor. met with her, finally got my appointment. And I wanted the person who was saying all this stuff about me to be in the conversation because I want to make sure you hear for what they have to say. I don't want to, because I'm down. I'm like, I want to be healed.
Yeah.
Fix me. If I need medication, fix me. The doctor asked me the psychiatrist, she asked me all these different questions. And she said, it's nothing wrong with you. She said, it's the situation you're in.
Yeah.
She said, but if you don't get out, what is not now will be soon.
Ooh.
Because your mind is fragile.
Yeah.
And that's how people go crazy.
Yeah.
Having the wrong people speak to them. And then you start believing those lies.
Yeah.
So I had to get back to who did God call me to be? What did God say about me? Who did God say about me?
You better say it.
Girl, I remember one day I was battling and I remember God said, pick up the journal. And I'm like, pick up this journal. It was a green journal. I keep all my journals.
Yeah.
And I picked up the journal. And at this time, a few weeks before, somebody was telling me that you have an evil heart. Evil. And so you don't give, you give only for attention and And I'm just thinking, I'm like, all that words, it replay. And I remember going to the journal. God said, pick up the journal. I picked up the journal. He said, now open it up. The first page was like from almost 10 years ago. And it said, Makia, you loved me then and you love me now. And it said, Makia, remember when you brought those homeless people to your mommy house and they didn't have no food and you asked your mommy and daddy to feed them?
Yeah.
You listened to me then and you listen to me now. Oh. He said, remember when that couple needed a check for $500 to stay in a hotel near UCLA? You listened to me then and you listen to me now. They said, remember when you brought Dorothy into your home to shower, to bathe because it was cold outside?
Yeah.
You listened to me then and you listen to me now. It was like right on time. And I still have that book. And when I opened it up, it was like he had to battle with what was being said to me currently to the truth. And so that's what nobody can tell me God is not real.
Ooh. I do want to say this first before we move past it. I feel like we were living parallel lives because I can remember when I was married and I was going through it and I thought that something was wrong with me. I went to a male therapist. This was before therapy was cute and popular. I was like, I'm going to a male because I don't want him saying it was a woman and she don't know nothing. I went to a guy. I told him everything. He was like, leave him. I was like, let me call him real quick. He at work. I want to make sure that he hear this so that he know that it's not me, it's you. And I think that could be something because we are honest people, we're also caring and compassionate people. We take what people are saying, their words, especially people that are close to us, we take that with importance. So if you're telling me something's wrong, I'm trusting that you're not going to manipulate me, that you're not going to tell me something that's incorrect. And sometimes people close to us, when they get in their own self and have their own agendas, they're trying to break us down. And in that moment, it seems like someone was trying to break you down.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what? I had to not say it wasn't me, it was you. I had to say it was me because I chose you.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I started saying it was me because I chose this, I chose it twice. I had to be part of the problem.
Yeah.
And so until I start saying I'm part of the problem and start doing some work within, a lot of work within, then I can start saying, oh, this is why I'm picking this way. Yeah. This is why I'm picking that way. Yeah. He told me that he used to do A, B, and C. Yeah. And I thought I could change him. Yeah. Ooh. What the heck was wrong with you, Sharie? Like, you should have saw that and said, I'm going to pray for you and keep on moving. Yeah. But it was something inside of me that was attracting that. Yeah. And so I had to deal with that. Like, it's nobody, listen, ain't nobody's fault. Yeah. It's my fault. I took responsibility.
I love that.
And now I have the ability and I have the responsibility to change.
Yes. Okay, you a big girl, because I like that. That's some grown stuff, because there's not a lot of people that can take, and I'm going to use women just because we're women, a lot of women that can take accountability. There's so much on social media now when I see a man has done them wrong. He did this, he did that. And it's like, I think about this situation. I stayed for a lot of stuff, right? But it wasn't until the end that I had to point the finger back at myself, like you just said. And choosing, I chose to stay. I chose to live through these things. And I feel like if more people would take a look and turn that mirror back on themselves and say, you know, although this is wrong, you are the one who has the ability to get up and leave or to end that situation. But a lot of times people don't want to end situations. And so I want to kind of go back. When we're in relationships, you're a woman who's a business owner, you're successful, you're doing all of these things. And to have a partner, you mentioned almost starting ministry with other couples and uplifting them. That's still real. That's still something that you believe, right? But as that was coming to an end, and as you were coming to the place of saying, you know what, this isn't for me anymore, how did that make you feel? Like, how did that? God
told me the blessing was always on you, boo.
Yes.
What I've called you to do, you will still do. So marriages, I'm still in my ministry.
Amen.
It just won't be with that person.
Amen.
Everything that he has commissioned me to do, will happen.
And come to pass.
It will happen.
Amen.
And so he had to tell me the blessing was always on you.
All right.
On you, in you.
Yes.
And so now, moving forward, I need you to choose wisely. I need you to consult with me.
Yeah, I was just going to say, oh my goodness.
You know?
Consulting with God.
Yes, the blessing, everything that God has called me to do is still going to happen. It's still going to happen because the blessing is on me.
Amen. I like that. I like that.
And I had to believe that again.
Yeah.
Because I questioned a lot. I'm like, well, God, you said.
Yeah.
God, you said.
Yeah.
And he said, and I did say.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes me back to Moses. Still said, still say. But it takes me back to Moses. God commissioned Moses to take the people to the promised land. But because of his hurt and his disobedience, he couldn't no longer go. Somebody else had to fulfill that. Joseph, was it Joseph and Caleb, I think, or
I don't want you to get me on camera having it wrong.
Listen,
I'm gonna be honest.
I know Caleb was. I think it was. I don't know. I don't. It
One of them.
But anyway,
fact check us.
They two of them had to go into the promised land. He couldn't go. No, neither could the generation. They all had to die off. He couldn't go. But the promise still was the promise. The people was going to get to that promised land. But the good thing about God, he is so just wonderful. He allowed. He has so much grace over Moses. He allowed him to see it, right? My thing is, God, you have told me to do something. I want to make sure that I'm obedient. I want to make sure I speak to the rock instead of hitting the rock. When you tell me to do something, I want to make sure I'm doing it. Because the promise is still going to happen. Even if some people got to die off, I'm going to get to where God has called me to go to.
I like that. That was really good.
Once he died off, the other two rised up and walked in. You understand what I'm saying? So the promise is the promise. I know what I heard. I know what God told me that I was going to be doing, and I'm doing just that. It's going to happen.
Oh my goodness, that was a word, y'all. So I want to talk about pivots, because you've done pivots before. So during the pandemic, when I don't even know if that was a pivot. Well, kind of a pivot, because you have your salon, but then when you and your sister came out with your product line, that was during the pandemic, correct? So during the pandemic, so not really, well, kind of a pivot, right? Because y'all weren't doing hair like
in the salon.
Correct. So that was like a pivot. So I think about that pivot that you had to do with the transition in your life now, of this pivot now that you're having to do. And even speaking, the promises are still going to come to pass. I'm just going to do it in a different way. Have you thought about it like that? Like, I've been through a pivot before.
You know what? I didn't. I didn't until just now.
Right?
Until just now. It is a pivot.
It is.
Right? But we still accomplished what we needed to accomplish. The product line still came out.
Doing great.
Doing great. Everything is still
Y'all
working.
see it?
But yeah, I call it detours. I call it, I had to pivot a little bit. But the pivot and the detours is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's necessary. The purging is necessary.
Yeah.
The pruning and the cutting back is necessary.
Ooh.
And so even when I'm whining and crying and saying, God, no, 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 it's necessary.
Yeah. Fantasia has a song. It's not really a song. It was something she just kind of came up with on the fly. I don't know if you listen to Fantasia, but look this up on YouTube. And the lyrics are, I am who I am today because God used my mistakes. He worked it out for my good like no one else ever could.
Listen.
It was necessary. That's the whole song.
Listen.
The whole song. So that goes with everything you just said. I was like, wait a minute, I got to tell you about this just in case you ain't never heard it before. And I do believe that God is taking every single thing, whether we may call them mistakes, but everything is in God's plan for us to get to our necessary end.
Everything, every single thing, God is using it
absolutely
for
our good,
the good. And so it's and that's why I don't have no regrets. I don't have any regrets with anything that I had that I no longer have.
Yeah.
It served me. That's why when people try to get me to talk negative about somebody, I'm not about to talk negative about somebody that I love deeply in one season.
Amen.
In a season that they're no longer in. Let them do that.
Right.
Let them talk about me. Let them talk about how bad. Because everything that's coming out their mouth, they're going to have to face.
Yes.
They're going to have. They're going to reap it. They're going to answer it. But what I'm going to do, I'm still going to protect you. I'm still going to pray for you. I'm still going to love you because it was something good that came out of that season with you. So I'm not going to talk about you.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm praying for you. And at one point I was fighting and hoping and praying that it was going to be something different, but God saw what I could not see. And I'm thankful that he had it his way and then give me what I wanted.
Yeah. And if you think about it, God is moving them out of your life anyway, right? So what good does it even do? When you got God fighting your battles, you don't even have to do nothing.
Yeah.
Just let God take it away. And I think that's good.
But we do.
Yeah.
We kick and cry. We tell God that he don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Give me back this.
Are you
Give
sure?
me back that. It's not fair. This is what I want.
Yeah.
And sometimes God sit back and is like, okay, go.
Yeah. Go do it.
Let me
Keep
show
hurting
you.
yourself.
And I'm to the point where I don't want nothing that don't want me. One.
Ooh.
Two, I don't want nothing that God don't want for me.
For me.
And so I know that it's going to be greater on the other side.
Amen.
I know that it's going to be greater.
Amen.
I already got a little taste of what God was telling me what was better.
Yes.
Even in my friendships,
yes,
guys and men, I got men now putting their hands over me and praying and speaking life and telling me who I am.
Prayerful
and
man.
telling me that my voice is powerful and God is about to use me and take me different places.
Yes.
I've never had that before.
Amen.
A man that prays for you, cover you.
Oh my goodness.
And and friends too. I'm talking about both sides. I'm talking about men and women.
Yeah.
That's coming into my life doing that.
That is beautiful.
But it's such a beautiful thing when a man do it.
Yeah. What man's store are these men at?
Listen.
Is it Amazon?
Listen, sit and let God bring it. Don't
God bring it. No store, women. There's God got to bring it.
let God go pluck them out somewhere and bring them to you. Yeah.
Right, just in case. I was trying to see if it was a store.
See, that's the problem with us. We go to these stores and it's a whole bunch of counterfeits.
Girl.
We don't want no more We too old. We too old for counterfeits.
The store of the Lord is what I heard.
We too old to be doing any more detours.
The store of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to also, because in talking to you, I got a chance to see your heart for giving, your heart for serving, and also your heart of caring for others. So you have a really big love and care for the homeless population.
I do.
That started young. How did that start with you, and how does it continue with you, and what are you doing? I know that's kind of like a lot. How do you continue that now?
I really don't know where it came from because I was raised with mother and father, middle class, was raised in one house, never had to have jumping from house to house. Yeah. We struggled. My mom and dad struggled a little bit, but they was consistent. They was stable. Yeah. But when I started working, I don't know. I used to just always see homeless people and always try to figure out why are they out there?
Yeah.
What's their story?
Yeah.
And then when I start, working, I will stop and give them food.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was 16, I worked at Ralph's, and I remember bringing a family home to my mom and dad. And my mom and dad took them in and fed them and loved on them. And then earlier, when I moved out here, after, I got on my feet, I took in a homeless person. But I almost was homeless. I remember when my house got foreclosed on, when I was transitioning from working in the corporate and really listening to what God telling me he want me to do, which is be a hairstylist. I almost lost everything. And I always say we're all like one situation away from
one paycheck.
Being homeless.
I'm in the financial industry, child. I tell people that all the time.
Anything could happen.
Be humble.
Be humble.
Every day.
And so when I think about that, when I see somebody out in the street, now God had to kind of bring me back in because I can't help everybody. And at one point I was like, okay, here, come live with me. No. But I try to use wisdom now. But it was just something that God has always put in me, like help them, help them, give to them. And I'm still like that. I just want to help. And I feel like God has blessed me to help.
Yes.
I can't die with no money. So my thing is I spend. If I see it, if I see somebody need it, then I'm gonna figure out how to raise it, or I'm gonna go into my checkbook and try to bless. And I just trust and believe that God is going to, fill it back up again.
Girl, God is. And that's the one thing, and especially with me just meeting you 3 years ago, just being able to see your heart for giving, the Juneteenth events that you've been able to do I believe the first one out your own pocket. I know you have your dreams, you have Dreams Unlimited, but I feel like this is still kind of out your pocket.
It was.
Yeah.
The first Juneteenth, God, I felt like I had a vision.
Yeah.
Like family reunion, like Black people coming together and having a family reunion. It was out my pocket.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I've seen you do these things to even come in when you gave away, you gave away a truck or a van?
I gave away a van.
A van.
Yes, to a couple. And again, I'll be like, God, don't be talking to me right now. But he was like, okay, you're going to bless this person with a van. I'm like, who?
Who blessing?
Where the money coming from?
Right.
Because I just built this salon.
Right.
I got all, where's the money coming from?
Beautiful salon.
I don't got it.
Yes.
And I was able to do it. I partnered with some people and we got it done. Yeah.
And it's like, to be going through transitions, pivots, as we just called it, and still be able to bless others in those seasons. I know God is just going to continue to bless you. And you said, you're still getting these blessings. It's because God is seeing that you are listening and that you are hearing and you're giving to others. And that's what we're supposed to do. And you still being able to do that and be obedient, even going through what you're going through, is still just.
And I was going through it.
Yeah.
I was going through it. And even you saying it, I'm thinking like, God, how was I able to keep doing it? But again, I'm always listening. Even when I'm wrestling with them, I'm always listening. Like, what do you want me to do? And sometimes I don't understand it. I really don't. And I just walk out on faith. Yeah. But I know that he's going to take care of me. He always has. Even if I'm tight, struggling, he always come through and take care of it. So it's just faith.
Oh, girl. Yeah. I mean, shoot. You said something that just kind of just got me, because I can remember the year, was it 2024 to 2025? I was just living on a prayer. I don't know how I was doing it. I was out of corporate. I went out on my own. Being an entrepreneur as a whole, from you being an entrepreneur to successful businesswoman, that takes a lot. That's going to be a whole nother conversation we can have on its own. I call myself thinking I can do it, and realizing the business that I was in wasn't going to pay that much at the front of it. And it was only God that I was able to even stay out here, because California is expensive. Being from the suburbs of Chicago, because I say Chicago and some people try to, but ain't nobody gonna fight me. Let's just say it like that. Okay, it's more expensive out here, and so I told my kids how much we struggled until I got back into corporate, and they said, "How did you do it?" God,
yeah. Listen, God is real. That's why I sometimes I be worrying about, okay, God, I see my account now. It's going lower and lower and lower.
Right?
But I just trust and know that he's going to come through. Even now, I mean, just be transparent.
Yeah.
I just built this salon. I'm single now. I got 3 kids in college. You know, I was left with all type of bills in the midst, and I see my account going from product line. We didn't get a loan. We had to it's just a whole bunch of deductions.
Yeah.
And I have to trust, like, God, I know what I see in my account right now, but I know that you gonna come through. I don't know how, but I know you gonna come through. And most of the time when you come through, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to being more comfortable than what I am now.
Yeah.
So when you're talking, I understand it because I'm living it.
Yeah.
You know?
Girl.
But I walk as if it's already here. I'm just waiting for things to be manifest.
Amen. And
like
it's gonna come. But it made me also want to just speak to the younger business owners, or even some of the more seasoned business owners out there. Being a woman who's a business owner, multi-million, all of the different businesses that you do. From what we said last, just because you were being very transparent and very real about what business looks like, especially when you pour so much into your business, you're going through transition, you're going through pivot. What advice would you give to, let's say, your younger business owners and even your more seasoned business owners about business and relationship?
Yeah. So what I would say about business is get a vision. I would say that about even your relationship.
Yeah.
You know, get a vision from God.
Yeah.
God, what do you see for me? Give me a glimpse of what you see. Put it in my dream. Just let me see it, because you have to be able to see where you're going. You don't need all the details, but you need to be able to see where you're going. And then I would say, once God give you that vision, then you got to believe it. And then surround yourself around people that believe, that is crazy enough to believe what God has shown you and what you tell them God has shown you. Because you could get people around you that will pick from your dreams. And then you start being a little doubter. You'll be the Thomas the doubter. You know, you don't want that. You want to be able to hold on, because what God has shown me, He gave me a glimpse. I didn't know that I was going to be here. I didn't know that I was going to have a product line. I didn't know that I was going to own a cosmetology college and one day possibly, you know, own a building and commercial and all that. I had no idea, but God did, right? So I had to be crazy enough just to believe it. I didn't know all the steps that was going to be in between, because I probably would have been like, no, thank you. But I was crazy enough to believe it, and then get with the right people. Like my business partners is amazing. Tracy, Rob, Kenya, Carnett, Randy, they're amazing. My sister, amazing. Like when I first started Dream Girls, I was like, Tanya, I need you to get your license. I need you to come partner with me, because I already know that she's an amazing business person. So partnering with people is key. Even Jesus had to partner with folks. You know what I'm saying? So I think I would just tell people, get out that mindset that you have to do it by yourself. Like, I'm self-made, I could do this by myself. No. I want to partner with some people.
You need some people.
I want to pay for a coach. I want somebody to coach me.
There you go.
I want somebody to help me in this department, because it's hard to do it by yourself, and they can help you not make as many mistakes. Now, go forward to relationships. I would say the same thing. Ask God for a vision. God, what do you see my life to be? What do you see my friendship circle to be? What do you see my marriage to be? You know, even though I'm not married right now, every day I write down as my directive. My marriage is healthy. My marriage, we honor each other. We serve each other. We listen to each other. My husband treats me like Christ treats the church. And then I go on to my financials. My financials is in abundance. I lack nothing. And then I go and say, my kids are safe. They are protected. They're doing great in school. They are close. And they love me dearly. And then I go down to, you know, Christ is the center of my life. So I have 5 directives that I write down, and some of that stuff listen, it haven't manifested yet.
That's okay.
But I know it is, because you got to have a vision. And so I feel like you got to have a vision for every area of your life. So the same thing for business. Bring that into your relationship. But the key thing is make sure God is key.
Yeah, and in the center of that, yes. And I mean, and that's biblical too. In Habakkuk, I don't know the verse. Write the vision, make it plain. So absolutely, I think that's great. And you mentioned when you were giving the advice of getting a coach, right? A lot of times people just think that they can just do it on their own, or they're on social media and they seeing all of these people talk about, well, I did it like this. And of course, a lot of lies, a lot of self-made, a lot of talk that's going on, but you're actually living it. You get a chance every single day to even build a clientele the way that you built the clientele. Like even prices. I can remember someone asked your prices one time and then they were like, woo. But it's like they don't even know what all goes into that. And sometimes if we're not willing to pay for something, we're not willing to actually take care or care for the thing properly. And one other thing I wanted to point out, Master P, I used to be a No Limit soldier back in the day. You actually kind of giving a little bit of it today, you know. But Master P said he once paid $25,000 to, I think it was Michael Jackson's attorney, just to get one piece of advice that helped him to rise and be the businessman that he is right now. So he said, I will pay this $25,000 just so I can get one question answered.
Listen. So good, so true.
Yes.
And I see people do it to me all the time. They'll make an appointment to sit in my chair, to pick my brain, and then I don't see him again. So it's true. But listen, that's smart, right?
Yeah.
Let me get in her chair.
Right.
And so
I got this business. What do you think about this?
I get that all the time. But even for myself, I will pay to get in the room.
Absolutely.
To be around like-minded people.
Absolutely.
You know, I would be a part of different social clubs so I can be around people who can fill me up, because you can't just be the one that's filling everybody else up.
Girl.
You can't be the one and know everything, got all the advice and got all the answers.
Yeah.
I need to walk into the room where I know nothing, and now somebody can pour into me and give me the answers.
Yes.
And tell me what I need to do.
I love
so that is so true. I mean, I always say a few things. This is what I say, and I know we're done.
Yeah.
But this is what I say, that we spend so much money on cars, on clothes, on looking good, going on vacation, but we don't spend enough money on our mind and making sure we're healthy up here, and making sure that we're being coached correctly, and making sure that we're getting business. We don't spend enough money on that. And if we gonna go out there and buy a Chanel purse and a Louis Vuitton purse and go to Bali and go to all these little exotic places, then take some money and invest in you, your mental, your business, being coached. I think that's some of the best money that I spend is being coached and my therapist.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right, we done talked a lot. We coming back. Back.
And you know what, you guys? I'm thinking about doing a live. Something live
that
here
would be good.
Where we're just having a conversation.
I really
want to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
Thank you so much.
Of
this
course.
Was so much fun.
I've enjoyed myself. And thank you just for allowing me to just sit in this chair. This means so much to me. To even be, you just said this, to be around people. Like, you inspire me. Like, just getting a chance to understand your story, seeing how many parallels we have, you inspire me to want to be better. So I definitely just say we do.
Common.
We really do. And didn't even know each other. And it was just kind of like a chance. And so I'm just grateful that I'm able to know you and actually even be here and even have these conversations with you.
Oh, I love you. I do. We're about to go have a drink, y'all. Bye.